I call the member for Balcombe Hills and the Minister for Counter-Terrorism, Minister for Corrections and the Minister for Veterans Affairs.
Thank you, Mr Assistant Speaker. I think this particular bill is a difficult one for any male in this House to express a public opinion on, and I have to disclose to the House that I'm a white Anglo-Celtic Christian Anglo-Protestant heterosexual male, which means that I've probably got the least qualifications in this place to speak about this matter. I haven't had to deal with the trauma of an abortion. My wife and I have been married for 22 years and have 2 healthy children, so it is actually with a great deal of anxiety that I stand up and make a contribution to this bill. Even though I'm on the public record for being pro-life, I acknowledge that as a Liberal, I'm committed myself to exercising and provide as much freedom of choice in all aspects of our community as possible. And it's that freedom of choice that I use to oppose this legislation. Freedom of discussion, freedom of opinion, freedom of debate. I think I'm confident that I can speak on behalf of my community in saying that while I'm not offering judgment on a woman's right to seek safe medical attention, this legislation, I believe, starts a very dangerous precedence. I'm very concerned that people have used faith as a reason or a motive for any decision relating to this issue. I know plenty of people of faith who are pro-choice. I know plenty of people of no faith who are pro-life. So the discussions that have gone before us today have not swayed me by saying that this is somehow a religious issue. I believe this is very much a secular issue, and this legislation is very much a secular issue relating to my right to express an opinion in the public domain. I'm not convinced, as has been said before, that any of the examples of offence behaviour around a reproductive clinic cannot be addressed by the existing police powers. And I have discussed this matter with a number of senior police who have reminded me that harassment is an offence and can be addressed by existing legislation. Can I offer my sympathy to the many members of this House who have been denied a conscience vote? I note that it was Neville Wran who offered the Labor caucus a conscience vote on gay law reform in 1984, but on this particular issue, the Labor caucus has been denied a conscience vote. I want to say on behalf of those members opposite who have expressed their concerns to me that they were denied that, I do feel a great deal of your pain. I have not, Mr Acting Assistant Speaker, met anybody in my electorate who has called for this reform. I'm not saying that women have not been harassed or who are given unnecessary levels of anxiety while they approach a reproductive clinic. I'm just saying I cannot feel in my electorate, and certainly any electorates around the Hills district that I live, that there is a cry out from women or men that this legislation is required at this time. In this free and democratic nation, we have a staunch and guarded tradition of free speech and freedom of association, freedom of opinion. We promote our candidates during elections. We yell our support for sporting teams. We post things and opinions on social media. We evangelise our faith. We consider the fact and highlight the fact that we have no faith. We sit on juries. We vote. We write letters, we volunteer, and we associate with whomever, wherever, whenever we like. These freedoms were hard fought for. Mr Assistant Speaker, it's my submission that this House, this law sets a dangerous precedence in the threats to these very freedoms that I've just addressed. I value these freedoms, and I would conclude my remarks with the words of Sir Thomas More, who said, "I would uphold the law even for no other reason but protect myself."
Thank you. The question is